promised, we're going to do a walkthrough of Microsoft Teams. And when this is done, never be afraid to come into the office and reach out and ask questions, find different ways of doing things, and continue the exploration of Microsoft Teams. So here we go. Okay, let's explore Microsoft Teams together. Isn't that a cool picture of me? Okay, so everyone knows this. Microsoft Teams is an all-in-one app for our organization. It is a workplace for real-time collaboration. We all communicate through voice, through chat, through meetings, online meetings, app sharing, data sharing, all through this one program. Now I want to mention real quickly, because I get a lot of questions on this. Microsoft Teams is SharePoint. The files in Teams are actually stored in SharePoint, and you can actually access them through SharePoint directly, and even map channels and folders directly to your PC and use them as a regular file folder. So think of SharePoint as the engine, and Teams is the car that you're using, but the engine is still SharePoint. Microsoft kind of moved towards Teams when they were trying to get an all-in-one collaborative tool for organizations, a place where you can work with your files, be it your OneDrive files, your or organizational files, make phone calls, have meetings, and even share other apps all through Teams. So here you can see I'm showing you a Teams site. And here I'm looking at the annual reports in the IT Teams site, annual reports channel. Back up to files. I'm going to see all my folders here, all my files in that folder. And I can open it in SharePoint. If I click here, I can open this view. It will leave the Teams app and go onto the internet and open up the SharePoint site on the back end of this. You can also, once you're in SharePoint, so what I did on that previous screen was I clicked open in SharePoint, and now I am out of the app and I'm on the internet. And it took me right to the same location in SharePoint. So I'm on the internet outside of Teams. I can say add shortcut to OneDrive. And when you choose add shortcut to OneDrive and directly link to the Teams SharePoint channel or folders, these will become available as a folder on your computer for OneDrive, in your OneDrive for Business folder. So it's a pretty quick way to work with files, just as if they were in an old school folder on your C drive. These are links to the files. They only will download the file if you actually use that file, and then it would begin syncing it. If you don't open the file, it's just a link out to the actual file, but it looks like it's on your computer. So Microsoft Teams offers various ways for us to connect to each other, as well as contacts outside of our organization. Meetings and events allow you to bring groups of people together to collaborate and share information in real time using voice, video, and chat. Now, of course, Microsoft Teams also makes it easy to keep up to date on your schedule and your meetings, meeting-related resources. It's very easy to use when it comes to meetings. So here I want to talk about calls real fast. So this is the calls section. Right here, this is the calls button in your Teams app. Oh, and by the way, if you go out to your Microsoft 365 portal and you click on the Teams button, you can do everything right through the internet, through the portal, that you can do in the Teams app. So let's say you're out and about and you're on someone else's computer and there's no Microsoft Teams installed. You can log into your portal, okay? And you can even make phone calls and answer calls, listen to your voicemail all right from the internet. You don't need a Teams app installed, in addition to having access to all your files. But back to calls. Click the calls button. You have your dial pad. You can just call a number old-fashioned way. You can click on contacts. It's going to connect out to your contacts in Outlook, and you can call individuals that way. You can also, of course, see your history right here of all your calls. You want to know if it's a missed call, a voicemail, and so forth, incoming, outgoing. You can see here, you can sort these by, you can click all, missed, incoming, or voicemail. And you can set up your speed dials here as well. So here I'm going to go to chat. This is a very popular feature. If you hit chat, you can chat with anybody here. You can share links, files. Another thing, and you can see your whole history of chat right here. So this is your chat button right here. Also from chat, if I'm chatting with Jeffrey here, I can immediately do a video call with him from here. I can call him as a voice call. I can add other individuals to this chat. Another thing I want to say about chat real quickly is everything you do in chat is saved in your Microsoft Outlook. I think it's called messaging. And all your chat messages are also there and backed up in the cloud as well. You know, this right here, I can call or do a video chat. Your calendar, this is linked out to your calendar in Outlook, but you can add events to your calendar, which will be also placed in your Outlook. I can click on these and join the meeting from here. I can do a new meeting. I can meet with someone now. I still recommend using the Outlook calendar as really to using this too much. The Outlook calendar is a little more robust than this. And you can see the calendar button here, and over here you can meet now or do a new meeting. And here we're going to look at files. Files are where you can see all your most recent Microsoft Teams files that you've used. You can also see your OneDrive files here. You can also search up here for files. And when you click on these, you can either open these files through the Teams app or have it open up the corresponding application. So if I click on a Word document, you can have it open up in Word, not in Teams. Now, search is something that people ask me about a lot. So if I'm in files and I want to do a search, hit this to search. You're going to see all messages, people, and files. I'm going to type a search up here. Now, I wish it defaults to all. However, when you do all, it tends to come up with very little, actually. Don't know why that is. I hopefully fix that. So what I would do is you look for a file. When you do your search, don't give up when this nonsense is here. Click Files, and it will show you all your most recent files. And you can just browse and knock your search down to even more specifics after you do that. But make sure you hit that Files button. Okay, so now the heart of the application is Teams. So I'm going to hit the Teams button here. You can also pin your favorite Teams sites up to the top here. Teams sites that you use all the time. Your Teams. Now each department does have a team site, and that is really based, all what used to be in SharePoint is now in these Teams departmental sites. But Teams is not limited to just a departmental site. As you can see up here, there's agendas and a budget. Teams is meant to be used for a lot more than just departments. You can use it for projects. You can use it just for, budget season. We had it here. Or you can have a budget team site. Any project, when we're doing our website in May, and we're rebuilding our website, I will create a website team site in which not only will we work throughout the project in that team site and share files and have meetings and so forth, we will also continue to use that once the project is done and we keep our team together. Anyone, I'll get that in a minute. One second, where am I here? Okay. So files. You can, as this is where files are, and if there's folders, they'd be here. If you're a member of a team, you can add more people. You can create more channels. So channels are where you want to really get down to the nitty-gritty and organize files. So if you think of them as, big file folders, where you want to have a folder just for 2022, or you want a folder just for security. You create these as channels, because when they're channels, you can invite other people to that channel outside of your group, and they would only have access to that channel. Frequently asked questions, you can create a frequently asked question for that team site. So, for example, for budgets or purchase orders, we could have frequently asked questions on there so we can all share information as we learn about what project or what thing we're working on. We can all, if you're a member of that site, that team's site, we can all contribute and add more, questions and answers, so we can share that. We can also, if I hit meet right here and I'm on this this team site, it immediately will call everyone that's part of that team. And I can have hey, I need to talk to anybody right now. It's really important. Or I can just start a conversation. And that's pretty cool. You can do that with one click of a button there. Once again, here is, I'll use building and housing for example. You can hide your channels so it doesn't become too big if you have a lot of channels. I'll use building and housing as an example because they really do use the channels and they do a good job organizing their data. And if the channels I might want to see easily here might be different than the one maybe Kevin Gore wants to see if I'm a member of this site. So I can right click on any channel and say hide it or don't hide it. But if I click this hidden channels, this little side menu is going to come up and I can easily access any of these channels. And remember again, the idea with channels, it's a good way to organize your files, of course. But if you have channels where you have unique members that you want to have access to a particular channel, but not necessarily the entire team site, by using channels, you can do that. So here's some more information here. Every department has their own team site, as I said. Specific projects can and should have their own site. Specific activities, they're not projects, but they're activities, like agendas and budgets, also have their own site. And remember, anyone can create a team site and invite collaborators. It does not need to be a big project for you to create a site. If you're working on something, some task, your manager gives you a task, and you have another departmental member, and maybe someone from another department helping you. You, on the fly, can create a team site. There's no limit to this. And you can invite who you want to be a member of that site. So if you're working in finance and you're working on some project and you want to invite another finance employee and maybe Keith in recreation and maybe me, you can invite us all, and now you have your own team's site to share your information, work with the information, and collaborate. I think that's pretty cool. So go on creating team sites. And here you go, as I said, and team sites are not just for file storage. Team members can easily communicate on the fly. We can even create wiki pages and much more. So here you can see this is our purchase order. We have a team site just for purchase orders, for the whole process of purchase orders. Well, when we did that, we put all the rules and the policy procedures into it as a wiki right in that team site. So if any of us forget some rule about something with purchase orders, it's easily here and searchable. We should be using this more often for some of our team sites. Yeah, there you go there. You see what else we got here coming up? Channels, we talked about channels once again. If once you're a member of a team site, you can create a channel. If it's for a particular, store files, if it's to a project or a task, and share it with not only people in your team site, but other ones. You can invite other members to that channel only. It's a really good way to organize files outside of folders. It's not always necessary. Some sites, like our agenda team site, channels might have been nice for each committee meeting, but we went with folders when we built this. But that's the idea with channels. But folders are fine sometimes too. And remember, once you're in a team site, you can meet with the members. So if I hit meet right now, it's going to call all these members at one time, which is pretty cool. Okay, that's what I have for Microsoft Teams. If anyone has any questions about Teams, wants to learn more, do a walkthrough in person with me, or with Jeff or anyone, be sure to contact me. That's why we're here. I'm hoping during the classes to actually do a little Barracuda tour to see some of the stuff on the back end. It's pretty scary and impressive at the same time. And we may talk about password managers. I really believe password managers are the only way we're going to be able to all of us manage our passwords. I've been using a password manager for years, and without that, I don't know what I would do with keeping my information secure. So I hope everybody has a good day, and thanks for walking through Teams with me. Thank you.